It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take a way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A couple of 1st downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early. And now I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I.
Receiver ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set. Blue 90.
23.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. But he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Let's go. 3-19.
On 1st down, Rudolph. And
that ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
2nd and 10, Rudolph again. Going underneath for Gordon. Oh, some strong running. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something we could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent...
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken a first quarter lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Time to roll through the defensive starting lineup for the LA Chargers. They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And that's incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window. Things get in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they finally get to him as he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Set. 3-19.
3rd and long. It's Rudolph. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself. It's 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go.
Out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Adam Gotsis in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's second down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back to throw. They set up the screen to Booker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 10 more there and another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively. And it'll be fourth down. And McManus able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Samaje Perine and the offense heading back out there. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
Let's go.
They run it here with Gordon. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Rudolph. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Rudolph. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Here we go now.
Now Gordon on first down. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sift through.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now Rudolph. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Denver getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. They run with Ajayi. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Joey Bosa. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Rudolph on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Rudolph on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Rudolph throwing again. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10.
Detroit!
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Flush to his right. Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
A final shot before break. Gutierrez forced out to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start with a couple of bitter rivals from the AFL days. Kansas City traveling west to take on Oakland. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. We'll stay in California. We head down to the southern half of the state to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. The Rams seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Calvin Ridley, a good game there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. An update now from Oakland. It's the Chiefs that have jumped out to the early lead against the Raiders. Patrick Mahomes with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, here's Rudolph. Allen has it, left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Now Gutierrez on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. He can run for it, and he will. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Hamilton. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Right back to him on first down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On play action, they'll throw. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Back to throw, Rudolph. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
2nd and 10, Rudolph again. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
Rudolph on third down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, LA. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, man, glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point attempt to come here. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
And this is beginning to border on dominance. Another strong run that picks up a first down. You've got to wonder if the defense coordinator is wondering, do I even go to goal line defense in any situation now to try and slow down this running game?
Now back to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Melvin Ingram in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run again with Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the...
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They're going to go. It's Booker. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Jay Ajayi, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point from McManus is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
New formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The Chargers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Going deep for Benjamin. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. 2
incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And the Denver Broncos are in for 6. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here. 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Play action. It's Rudolph. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for the Chargers. 41 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Gordon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive...
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Von Miller with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.